Okay. You're ready. Hello, everybody.
Good evening.
All right, I'd like to call this very happy to have a regular meeting with no workshop. Meeting to order on February 23rd. Please stand for the pledge and the invocation. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Sal?
Father God, thank you once again for entrusting us with your town. I ask that you give us wisdom, discernment to lead your town and to make the best decisions for our citizens. We ask for all this in your name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, sir.
All right. Elise?
Commissioner Ramos,
Present.
Commissioner Pollan,
Here.
Commissioner McMullen,
Present.
Vice Mayor Satterfield,
Present.
Mayor Stark.
Here. We had any ex parte communication?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So we're come to public forum. We do not have any visitors here in the audience. Aside from Amy, is there anybody else that is not staff? Nope. So I would say that we don't have any public forum unless Amy has something she wants to impart upon us. So anyway, we will move on to the consent agenda. Does anybody have any questions or comments, anything you want to pull out?
Accept the consent agenda.
I'll second it.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any questions, any comments?
Nope.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Wait a minute, I need to ask some questions so you don't get this big record.
So I don't get this what?
This big record for
I
a
know it's
short
gonna be a
meeting.
big record. FDEP grant lift station number 6.
So in your packet, you had a cover memo outlining the 2020 FDEP grant. Basically, it's $250,000 we're putting towards lift station number 6 is what we're calling it. It'll be located down in the general area of the charter school property and Catherine Ross Road. If you can imagine that, you'll see a photo of it pretty soon. So we are currently in design and hopefully this summer we'll go to bid. It'll pretty much be a carbon copy of lift station 5, which is rapidly coming to fruition and getting put in service. And I think the only thing additional that I want to say is if you all would authorize the town manager to sign the grant agreement with the state, then I think this will be a done deal.
Do you have any questions or comments?
No.
Okay, I need a motion.
Do we need consensus, Roy, or motion?
Now,
Motion would be preferable.
Yes.
It's got money involved.
Yes, and it's with the state.
Elise, if you could put that to the first page then. So we felt like this was probably a good time to give you a general update of the wastewater system. Be mindful of the time.
You want
I
the
can
motion
put you
first?
up with this.
Do we want to do the motion or do you want
Oh, I'm
to?
sorry.
Go ahead, Rick. You're gonna start.
I'll make a motion to approve the FDEP grant for lift station number 6.
I'll second it.
Okay, it's been moved.
And authorize the town manager.
Oh, and have the town manager sign the contract.
Second.
I'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any questions, any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mike.
Okay, yeah, sorry. We're moving so fast, I just got ahead of myself. So,
Well, you got that evil eye.
yeah, here we go. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So this is your current wastewater system. It's a little bit difficult to see on the screen, but I think you have a photo there in front of you. In January of 2018, we brought our first customer online. And as of January 2021, 3 short years, we have over 550 customers now. A smattering of commercial and the majority are residential. So it's quite something to think about when you think we're all the way with lift station 6 that you just approved will be from Winter Garden to the county line. Basically, that's that spine or that backbone of the system that Dennis always talked about. So the 2017 grant, we're wrapping it up right now. That was, it took a little while for that because we had to amass property in order to lay the sewer line. The funding was utilized for 3 distinct areas that were the industrial extension, the cemetery extension, and then the lift station 5 and force main. So the industrial extension, you can see it there, is a gravity sewer installed along Oakland Avenue west of the Turnpike Bridge. That was completed in November of 2020, and there are already several septic to sewer connections already made. So that's been very successful. Cemetery extension, which basically runs from Pulte Homes to the east side of the West Orange Baptist, and it's the force main that carries the sewage from this side of town to lift station 4 over in Longleaf. So again, this is vital to the backbone of the system, and it was completed in August of 2020. That is a pressure main. Lift station 5 and force main, which is under construction now, due to be put into service within the next couple of months, located at South Arrington and East Hall Avenue. It has the capacity to serve the commercial corridor east of Tubb Street and the surrounding neighborhoods. So it's got some capacity for the future. And then fast forward 3 years, we have the 2020 grant. That's actually the one that you just authorized the signing today. So that is for lift station 6. And again, it's in the general location of Catherine Ross and Sadler. And there's kind of a location map, a service area, and you can see the charter school in the background. That is at the extreme eastern end and south border of the charter school. That's where we intend to put it when the design is done. We'll see if it sticks there. So with that, I'm sorry, just back up 1 second. With that lift station, you'll have the capacity to serve charter school, public safety building, and then the residential area around that. So future expansion. Okay. And then we have the septic to sewer grants. We got a lot of sewer stuff going on, in case you hadn't noticed.
Fascinating.
Septic to sewer is three different grants: a CDBG grant for 600,000, an FDP grant for 550, and then a St. John's Water Management District for 644,000. And it's been a challenge, putting all those together and making it work. And I think we sent the draft advertisement for construction to our engineer this morning, and we should be getting it back very soon. So got a lot more work to do on septic to sewer, but it's happening.
That's $1.8 million almost combined.
Mhm.
Wow.
And it's amazing if we put it on, go ahead.
No, it's impressive, sorry.
Yeah.
It is impressive. And if we put it on paper as 1.8 million, people will
Yeah.
Yes.
sit up and take notice. You put anything on paper that,
Yeah.
it just is, when you add it up, it's
It's a lot of money.
really a lot of money.
So,
Just to add real quick to this, so we are going to have some community meetings with the residents of this area. We're going to have to work through all the logistics of how they get hooked up and how that all's going to happen. So there will be some community meetings or some targeted meetings for this area in the near future.
And it'll be good practice for us to see how this works.
Can you back up a picture?
yeah, sure. Yes. Oh, yeah. Just go back
One
in
more?
whenever you want.
So that circumference seems to be picking up some of that Winter's Landing. Is that gonna be? Or it goes across?
Let me just say, it has the capacity to pick up some of that. Some of that is kind of down the hill, if you will. That's just a generic,
Okay,
just a generic look at that. However, those homes that front Oakland Avenue, it could be possible.
Because, you know, Winter's Landing, there are some people in Winter's Landing who really would like to hook on.
Oh, absolutely. And
They're not gonna meet some of the criteria that these other homes meet.
well, we've got a targeted area that we're working with, and we've got low and moderate income as well as
Right.
that don't fit into that mold. So we're going to go through this process over the next 12 to 18 months of the septic to sewer conversion to understand it, because it's a complicated process. And you can see how much grant money that we have in order to put that infrastructure in. If you don't have that grant money to put the infrastructure in, then that's money that you have to pass on to those customers. So if we tried to go into some of these existing neighborhoods and put in the infrastructure and then connect them, it's very expensive. So I just want to kind of put that out there that we've got grant money. We're going to do this first project. We're going to get a better understanding of policy and process and everything that goes along with it. And then we'll have to have a bigger conversation at some point down the road on how you want to do other infill areas. Because I've heard of places where the connection to sewer can be $30,000 or $40,000 because you're also paying part of that infrastructure cost.
wow.
And so I want to make sure we have a good plan when we do decide to get into these other areas. Now, areas that are like right on a line, like we might have a few stragglers out there, 6 or 7 people here or there. We can work with them to get them connected because the infrastructure is already in front of their house. But if you're actually having to put that infrastructure in or put a lift station in, it's very expensive, as you can see by this project.
Yeah, we were fortunate that we're able to utilize the lift station that was built by Pulte Homes for this. Otherwise, we would be trying to fund an additional $400,000 for that.
How many homes is there in Winter's Landing?
Winter's Landing, I don't know offhand.
I don't either. But what I would remind everybody of is that we held a couple workshops, if not more, about how we were going to approach this and cost and when the time came. But I don't want anyone to get nervous about what the cost is going to be when it comes time to hook on to existing homes.
Yeah, we just need to have a well thought out plan for those next steps so that we do something that's reasonable. So like I said, we've got a bunch of grant money and we can figure out process and procedure and, you know, and the things that go with this, because we're only looking at like 55 to 60 houses.
Mhm.
And so you can see the cost, you divide that out. So we just need to take this step by step, but this is the main,
Great step.
this is a main focus for us. And it's a great situation to learn the process. And then we can talk about what.
But I just don't want residents to think that, you know, it's going to cost, you know, I don't want residents that we don't know yet.
Right.
Correct.
So if we don't know, I don't want residents to go, oh my God, it's going to be $30,000.
Yeah, no, and that's worst case scenario. I'm just saying, I have heard about that in other places. I don't want to get to that point where we just have to have a good, solid plan on how we.
Thank you for, you know,
If it's an existing house, have they already paid impact fees? They haven't.
Not for wastewater, not unless they're hooking to the wastewater system. They have not paid wastewater impact fees.
When I moved in, there were no impact fees.
Really?
I don't think so.
Probably not.
No, there wasn't.
That was in the 80s, right? Yeah.
well, I know that as we get the lift station and then number 6 now, some of these residents are going to be approaching us, you know, hey, does that mean we got sewer coming? I mean, that's going to be the
Right.
misconception right now until we educate again and let them know.
And I
Be the
don't,
questions.
we're not I think the only thing that we can educate them on right now is a general time frame of when we think that might be, and that the rest of the details we are working out because we do not want this to be a burdensome to them to
Correct.
put on.
No, and that was, when we first started with all this, that was probably our top concern for people.
Right.
Was that, and it was very well put out that we'll figure something, we'll get something, and when we know, you'll know. So we were very
Yeah.
upfront with that was going to be a thing for us way back in the early days of
And
this.
since we don't want it to be burdensome,
Right.
there's not a lot of answers to be had just yet. We gave Steve general direction about what we wanted and, you know, how we might be able to accomplish it, but that's why we don't have those answers.
Well, and, you know, the main, getting the spine in, the main thing is getting all the new development onto the sewer system. And by doing that, the developers are sharing in the cost of getting this system in. So a lot of this big infrastructure investment has been done through development and through the state. So we've got this spine in, and then we'll have to start figuring out how to get it into these existing neighborhoods. And you start talking about roads that are paved, if you have to go in and cut up the road. And
Sidewalks, yeah.
sidewalks, I mean, just a lot that goes along with this. So we just need to be very slow and thoughtful about it.
And that's what you saw in Winter Garden, you know, when they were putting it in.
Right.
You know, roads torn up and closed off, and I think there's a lot of things to figure out, and I don't think you know, the best case is I think we do need to figure out maybe a general time frame.
Well, it would be good to give somebody at least an approximate.
We occasionally get calls to my office about the sewer. People say, I've heard that you're putting sewer through the whole town. Well, maybe in 40 years, if somebody has and I'm very honest with folks, if they are in an area that is adjacent to an active sewer line, a gravity sewer, if they're residential. I just had this conversation with Jay yesterday about the new school going in. They have a sewer line literally 75 feet from their building, okay? But it's a pressure main. So commercial business, we may compel them to put in a pump station. That's just the cost of doing business. But the residents that call in, basically, I'm honest with them, and I give them what I believe is the time frame. If they're adjacent to a sewer line that'll be put into service within a year, probably 3 or 4 years at the most. And the others that are outlined, it's longer. It is a 30-year plan.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and so that, once we get, I can't believe we're this far already.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's, when we started this, I thought we were way farther down the road, would be way farther down the road than we are right now.
And it is.
But I really want to be very thoughtful about the answers that we give and that they are, the best answers we can give.
The more we can leverage town money and residents' money with state grants and different other funding sources, the better we can do this. It is a big priority of the state right now. Hopefully it'll stay that way for some time, especially in the Wekiva watershed area, to get people off of septic and onto the sewer. So there may be some opportunities for funding. We're just going to have to continue to keep going after it.
Well, we are masters at leveraging.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, the town, I have to say, has been hugely successful over the last 7 years with getting funding and working with developers to get to where we're at. So.
And the state and DEP.
Yes.
When we started down this road with the state, I just really, I think we're so much further along than we were,
I never thought.
yeah, this far.
Yeah.
So we'll have better answers in a little while. Right now, I just don't think that we have a lot of answers.
Yeah, so like I said, we'll have some meetings, and we'll be talking to the residents here in the near future as this starts to come to fruition with this current project, and it'll be a very much a learning process for us.
But I do know that there are a number of residents in Winters Landing who would like to hook on sooner rather than later.
Well, as we've learned, the sooner, the better that you get residents together to talk about these things, the better off we are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so that's about it for the update. We're committed to protecting the environment as usual, and we're continuing to fund projects as possible. And we have a legislative request in already this year for additional funding, so.
For $1 million.
Yes.
And we do have a governor who is very, very water friendly.
Mhm.
So hopefully.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
A lot of hard work and we know.
Joseph, do you have anything to add? Obadiah?
Wait.
Joseph?
I'm here.
Yeah. Do you have anything to add to this?
Oh, no, yeah, everything was covered. Everything was covered. No, we good. No, oh, no. Sorry.
Thanks. I just don't want you, you're over there and I keep, I don't want to forget you.
Thanks.
All right. So now that you've eaten up some time, Parker.
I'm good. Thank you very much.
I think when the manager reports, correct?
Yes. I don't have a whole lot to report tonight. The mayor and I are going to a mayor-manager meeting tomorrow with Commissioner Wilson. So that'll be a good meeting tomorrow, lunch meeting tomorrow with the chamber.
We'll report back.
We'll report back. Mike and I have a meeting next week with Orange County Public Works to talk about the roundabout. I sent y'all some information last week on that. It's coming together. The next piece is the LAP agreement, the local agency LAP agreement that happens, I think, March 23rd with the county and the state. And then after that, funding's in place and they'll be putting it out to bid in June. Still little tweaks to the project. I sent you the long agreement, actually, the draft agreement in that email I sent you. I think it's gone from 227 days to 241 days of construction time. So it's moving along now. So I'm excited to get that project going and
I'll be excited. I'll be excited when it's done.
yes, exactly.
When you're driving around in a circle, right?
Feels like it.
But that's all I have. It's just those two things.
Sal?
Just a reminder, the Golden Eagle Award ceremony is going to be March 4th on Thursday, 5 to 7 p.m. at the Pavilion in Winter Garden. We'll be honoring and giving the award to the mayor of Winter Garden, Mayor Reeves.
Is that right by Tanner Hall?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. The pavilion is right next to the parking lot. They have the farmer's market every Saturday.
Oh. Well, it says Lakeview and I got a little confused. So that is the 4th, which is Thursday?
Yes.
Okay, your weather outlook is good.
Okay.
Thank you, Danny.
Boy Scout, so
The event planner in me would go, what is your weather backup plan?
well, it's the Golden Eagle for the Boy Scouts, so I figure they have to tough it out, figure it out.
Be prepared.
Yeah, but I'm not a Boy Scout. I'm planning on going. So,
We'll keep you dry, Mayor.
well, that'll be a nice event.
They will be.
Rick?
Just want to say that Pours at the Preserve was a big success, very well planned out. Everything was very good. Hors d'oeuvres was great. The drinks were great. I
Awesome.
think everybody had a great time. It really worked out real well.
And you sold out and then some, right?
Mhm.
Very good. Very, very good. Joseph?
Just want to mention briefly that, we had the Tri-County luncheon last week, and I know Steve and the mayor was on the call. There was discussion around COVID, and so was a lot of good things happening in all the Tri-County areas as relates to the healthcare organizations along with the community. And so I know Steve reached out to the Orange County rep to see how maybe the town can be a pod as it relates to giving out vaccines. I'm not sure if Steve got any feedback But I know with the new facility, with Healthy West Orange being there, and just, where we are, there's a possibility of us being a potential vaccination, pod as relates to, future vaccinations as, the distribution is increased. And, with us being where we are and the fire department, which is a conduit to that. That was discussed, and I'll pause real quick to see if Steve got any feedback from the.
I did get some feedback. I reached out to the Department of Health. There was, and I can't pronounce her last name, but she was on the call.
Right.
She did get back to me, and she actually talked about the fire department. So I need to reach out to the fire department and to Orally, Chief Avery, because she's handling a lot of that through emergency management. So I need to see if there's still any opportunities to have something going on out here. She did give me a bunch of information on where the vaccinations are happening and which Walmarts and Publixes and stuff. And I forwarded that to Alicia. If it's anything that we can use to get out to people.
Well, and I don't know how anybody else at this table feels, but I am happy to be an example, of I will take the vaccine and encourage people here who live in town to take it.
Oh,
I'm with you.
yeah.
So, and we'll be happy. And we, if we need to figure out how to arrange transportation for some folks, we'll figure it out.
I still think there may be some opportunities as this gets a little bit bigger. So we'll keep an eye out and try to see what we can do.
Well, you can make the old commissioner the poster boy that already got it.
Oh, well, good for you.
Oh, you already
You
got it?
get it, because I know you were like trying to let some other people
Yeah, I did.
go first.
It got to where it was just easier to get it and get it out of the way, because if not, it's just going to be someone else. My thought originally was let them go in age order, 85 and 90s and stuff.
Right.
But it's getting to be where if you got an appointment, you should probably got to go to get it. So yes, I have. I've got mine.
See, and you're an example.
So, and I can be one of our examples.
Both of them?
Yeah, is that first and second? First and second?
My second one is coming on the 1st.
Any side effects on your first one?
I think it made me a little smarter.
That wasn't hard.
The first one I felt, that was hard to do. For a day or two, I felt just I was wore out. I didn't get sick, but I just got to where I was tired. I was more
Drained?
Just drained, yeah.
Like it's a 24-hour period or?
I got it on a Wednesday morning, and by Thursday night, it was out of my system. So,
Not bad.
and it wasn't bad. So next week, I'll let you know what the second one does. So if you see that I'm not at the meeting, you'll know Mikey's.
I'm telling you what, I've never been so excited to maybe have side effects in my life.
Yeah.
So,
But the shot itself, and I'm not a shot person. Shots freaked me out. So I looked the other way, and, we were joking with it because we were at this Spanish church that was giving them out. So I looked and said, I just really need one of them Italian ones, and they all started laughing. And by the time that they stopped laughing, I had the shot. I never felt the shot itself. I mean, never felt a thing. So it was like, all right, well, go ahead. And that's what they said.
Crazy.
pardon?
You on mute? Unmute.
Oh, no, I'm listening. No.
Okay, so no, it's the shot itself. It's nothing. Arm didn't really hurt or anything like that. So it's nothing. People should not be afraid of it.
We need herd immunity.
So.
Yes.
Okay, Joseph, you got anything else?
And, the Tri-County, our lunch is every third Thursday. So, please log in and, check us out, see what the things that we're doing. And my ask to the mayor and Steve, when you meet with Commissioner Wilson, let her know that the Tri-County wants to partner up with the county commissioners. So that's part of the initiative that I'm kind of pushing for. That is the initiative, pushing for with 2021. And so we will be reaching out to as a Tri-County League organization. And we definitely will be leaning on our elected officials all around as we try to lobby and connect with our state legislators, and the county as one of the county elected is one of the ways we want to do it. So that's going, as part of our initiative that I mentioned earlier back in January, along with the, working with our county on a local level to lobby our state legislators. So if you can, when you reach out to her, let her know that we will be reaching out to her in the near future to discuss some of the priorities around the state and collaborating with them. So that's all. Thank you so much,
I'm
guys.
looking at Steve going, don't let us forget to talk about that. I do have to say, Joseph, that my experience with those lunches are that they have some of the best, most informative presentations
Yes,
that's
yes,
going on
yes.
of any that I go to. Very, very, and I don't like people who go long and they always keep them very short and to the point and very topical. And you always learn something. So
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
that one about the trains, I thought was just amazing. So anyway, Mikey.
The only thing I got is perhaps for some sort of future planning for us to keep in the back of our heads. And you probably be key in this is as we get to the end of this, and I'm not trying to just prematurely get to the end of pandemic, but as we get to the end of it, I would really like to start doing as we did years and years ago when we had like Jazz in the Park years ago. Oakland events, we had the Friday nights with the trucks. We want to start getting this. We got so many people. Let's just start getting something more again so that we can get people in the community out and kind of celebrating life again. So I think now is the time to start thinking about what we could do and how we can plan it. Alicia, you're very good at this, too. But it's just that when we do get to an end of it, it's going to be not just thank God and let's go out and have a party, but something to continue so we can have community things that we're doing on a regular
Well,
basis again.
that's why we have the Heritage Center.
Right.
Let's use it.
That's all I have.
And Steve said everything I needed to say, so we're good.
So in other words, you don't say no more.
No. I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him to say it, and I am very happy for this meeting tomorrow. I am.
If all hearts and minds are satisfied, let's adjourn. It is now 7:34 p.m.
I don't know if that's a record, but okay.
No, it's
Not a record,
not even.
but it's still pretty good.
Yeah.
So,
It's Parker's fault.
good night, everybody.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.
All right.